Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1428 of our daily content grind. We're going to do something a little bit different. I think this weekend is just going to be Power Ranger nerd out stuff because we're in a little bit of a resurgence. The brand new toy line is out. There is still speculation on the upcoming TV show and if that's still in the works, but also we have a brand new collab for Power Rangers in Fortnite. So I know Fortnite is not for everybody, but you might still be interested in how Power Rangers turned out, how well they actually respected the franchise or whatever. So we're going to go through that. And if you are interested in Fortnite, well, we were playing with the Power Ranger skins over on Friday night, over on the Agent Magnetar channel. Why weren't you watching? There's a link to in the description to my VTuber persona over on Twitch. Go share, go subscribe, not subscribe. That costs money over there. Go follow over there. Do appreciate seeing people hanging out and just having some fun. But let's go into detail here. Let's see everything that came up here, everything that you are getting, because let's see how this turned out. So for starters, let's take a look at the standard Ranger suit. And honestly, it is looking really, really good. It's looking fantastic, actually. I think they did a really good job on the suits here. So not only does it just look the part, colors right, shapes right, it's the little details that I love. The seam in the back where the zipper would be. The latches on the helmets are there. The split in the helmet is there. Little touches like that, like you can see across the like the glove where there's texture inside the diamond, you know, where you have like the lines across the knuckle, the separation at the wrist, little things, which is really, really appreciated. It's a very cool touch, and it goes further than that. Take a look around, the crotch, the legs, like behind on the knees here too. All those wrinkles from loose fabric. Like, it's not just like the way comic books depict the Power Rangers a lot, which is just a muscular superhero in what looks like body paint, because every muscle is rippling and every little detail on them is accounted for. This is not doing that. There is some musculature to the Ranger themselves. You know, like you can see, you can see like there's some tone and definition to it, but nothing that doesn't look like it wouldn't actually exist. You know, like you can just see the impressions of where the pectorals and the abdomen are, but you can't really see like a lot of, it's not fully defined. It doesn't look like the spandex shapes to the muscles. That's a really, really good point. That's a really good detail. Yeah, you can see the texturing here too. Like there is a texture of these, the fabric to the red, but then into the white and the diamond shapes, like there is a difference. It's subtle. It's subtle, but once you notice it, it makes it all stand out. Even like reflections on the helmet being so much shinier than the suit, and it like shiny in a different way, I should say. Really impressive job. And obviously everything's molded like it's a toy. Everything is modeled correctly. The only weird thing is that collar. They changed it from just like that straight line all the way across the base of the neck to this weird like flip up collar thing. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about it. It's not bad looking. It's just different and a little bit odd. That's really it. Other details to point out, Morpher is correct. The Blade Blaster is there in the holster in the correct mode. Yeah, like compared to what they did with Transformers, I am just kind of amazed at how detailed and accurate it is. Like, and all of them are like that. You know, here we have our Pink Ranger, who again, they're not doing the standard thing of like the superhero costume that has like what looks like individual boob socks for the female, right? Like this is a more natural depiction of just, it just looks like her chest is squashed in there, which, you know, is correct. You can see inside the helmet on her. Like you can see where there's like cushioning and padding inside, just where the neck meets. All the little lines that are done up in the helmet to help accentuate. That's accurate to her normal details. And yeah, she's the one who gets the skirt as well. And speaking of, no skirt on the Yellow Ranger. Yeah, they did a really good job here, like paying attention to the details. You'll also notice all of them have their own unique idle animations. They'll all stand with fists on hips, but all of them have their own little unique idle animations too, which is a nice, subtle touch. When the suits are all going to be, basically all the skins are going to be relatively the same. So I do appreciate the little touches that make them unique like that. Yeah, the Black Rangers does not have a good one. He just kind of like flexes his hands every now and then on his idol. Nah, that's it. That's it. I do like all the lining detail on his helmet to make the Mastodon things pop. And again, that is accurate to the original design. The one that you might get thrown by is the fact that it's also on the Blue Ranger's helmet, that little tracing of white above the lens, above the visor. That is also accurate. Attention to detail. This is why I'm so impressed by the collab. This is why it's so impressive. I'm kind of blown away here. I'm genuinely blown away. Okay, we go into like power weapons as well. So yeah, I'm glad the power lance is one piece because it does give him a unique animation when he uses it that way. You're getting the power sword, which also looks fantastic. Yeah, they made sure everyone had their own weapons, which is good to see. Scrolled me all the way to the very back. I don't know why. There's the power bow. They did a pretty good job on that too. Yeah. Yeah, there's the power axe. The important thing to note here is that a lot of these weapons already have animations in Fortnite. I think we just got like a proper like individual dagger animation in the last season or two, which is going to apply to like the dragon dagger, for instance. Yeah, there's just a lot of love to this. Okay. Here's the part where I need to see if you can actually... No, you cannot hear... You can't really pick up the sounds on this. So, when they do this pose, when they do the pose emote, a few things to point out here, for starters. If I get it to play again. That motion, that motion. Okay, so... Yeah, you'll notice I'm trying to keep the sounds to a minimum because copyrights. But watch this pose. That and that. And then we go into this pose. So the start of this is going to look familiar. The first two positions look familiar because if you remember the Thunderzord sequence or the scene where that footage came from, which is the roll call that you saw when the Green Ranger joined up officially. That motion and that motion is taken from Billy's pose. It's taken from the Blue Ranger, like Tricera Ranger from Jew Ranger. That's his pose, like the hands crossed and then down like that. That's the Blue Ranger's pose. But literally every animation for all 5 Rangers does that. And that's frustrating. This position, this pose here, depending on what Ranger you are, the second half of it changes. And it's not going to be terribly familiar. But if you look up Power Ranger group shots on Google, what you're going to find is a lot of shots of the Red Ranger in this pose. And likewise, the other poses you see around him will be assumed by the other Rangers in the shots. Just generic battle poses that look good for like a poster or something. They did a bunch of this in the 90s. And for some reason, yeah, the Red Ranger always ended up on one knee with one hand in a chop position. Every time. So they're basing the first part of the pose on one specific Ranger pose, and then the rest of it is coming from basically promotional material. It's a weird deep cut, but it also feels lazy at the same time because I would have loved for every ranger to have their own sequence. And just in case you're wondering, if you do it with anyone who's a non-ranger, it just does it just picks one at random. And then I believe the white and green ranger both do the red ranger pose as well, but I could be wrong because I haven't unlocked that one yet. And then there's this, which is again copyrighted audio. I cannot play it. Dance emotes sing to the tempo of nearby jam tracks. Okay, so this is a deep cut from season 3, I believe. There's a monster that forces the Rangers to dance. If you type in Power Ranger dance into anything, it's the first thing that comes up, where it's just all the Rangers hitting a pose and then dancing really goofy. And they actually recreated it. They made it a gag emote in this, and that's amazing. I was joking about wanting this, and then they just went ahead and did it. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. You do have a morph. The morph itself is a little bit weird. Hang on, let me turn that down a little bit. Didn't realize that might be so loud. The morph itself is a little bit weird because we're already morphed, but it is cool to actually get that as an emote. The cooler thing about that, however, is the fact that okay, there you can hear it. That's not copywritten. That's Fortnite just doing Fortnite music. But the thing about this one is, if you do it with a random skin, it'll be a llama. It'll be the Fortnite llama instead of the power coin. So that's kind of the idea behind using it. If you use it for a ranger, it uses their coin instead. The audio is different depending on which coin pops up. It's another great little touch. And then there's this one. May the power protect you. Do I even have the volume loud enough for you to hear that? Try that again. May the power protect you. So yeah, you get a little Zordon to pop up. So it's good that they figured out some way of actually putting Zordon in. And then you have the back blings, which are just the power coins. Now these are reactive. If you get an elim, they will surge and flash just like that, which is a nice little touch, but I'm a little bit miffed by them. We'll get into that in a bit. We have a jam track of a brand new remix of Go-Go Power Rangers. It's the full 4-minute version with the extra lyrics. So it's not just the TV theme. And then we have the rap, which is really, really cool too. So depending on which ranger you're using, it'll change color. And if it's anyone else in the game, it'll be red. Now, the cool thing is this applies to every weapon in the game. So every one of your weapons is going to fit your ranger if you're using it. The downside to this is that the white ranger is not represented because this is based on the Mighty Morphin / Jew Ranger diamond pattern, which technically the Kiba Ranger design does not have. They could have gone the toy route, where the toy actually has, like, underneath the armor, it has the more traditional, like, diamond shape of the other Rangers, but it's painted gold. So that would have been acceptable. I would have taken that too. That would have been another deep cut in a collab that's already got a few deep cuts going to it. Okay, so yeah, it's like 3,600 V-Bucks for the whole thing, which considering getting like 5 skins, 5 pickaxes, 4 emotes, 5 back blings, a skin, a song, and all of it does unique stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty solid offering, not going to lie. We had a lot of fun with this. Oh, and that's not all. Oh, we're not done. So there's a few other little tricks and things that we were getting because of this collab. And there's copyrighted. Is this copyrighted music, or can we actually hear this? Nope, that passes. So, Green Ranger gets his actual flute. And again, this is where, like, the poses gets weird. Like, I don't know why he does this leg up pose. It's also very weird how he switches hands on the dragon dagger and then just switches back. See, right hand, right hand, and back to then to both hands. That could have been smoother. It's very cool that they actually do have the Dragonzord call in here, and the dragon noise is accurate. It's a stock Hollywood noise, but they used it for the game, so you have that going for you too. This is why I think the back bling is lazy, because Green Ranger and White Ranger, they get a reactive one too, but look at that effect. You actually get the full morphing effect. This back bling does not mesh with the others. It doesn't change. To my knowledge, it does not change to match the other Rangers should you get it and put it on them, which is a shame because this is a way cooler back bling. Makes no sense because there's the morpher. Let's see, the artwork for the loading screens is really cool too. I can imagine people just use that for desktop wallpaper. Yeah, the dragon daggers in the game too is a pickaxe. You get sprays. There's also spray for the red and pink rangers, but I'm not terribly in love with those. Here's the effects and when you fall your contrail. There's 7 coins in all, which I believe accounts for all, which I believe it's hard to see here. Well, it's hard to see here, but it is the other coins that are falling with them, and it's just the 1 coin associated with the ranger that's staying still and is larger. You can also see the shape of the coin in the effect under him. It's just very pale on the Green Ranger for some reason. Looks fantastic though. Looks absolutely fantastic. This is where the collar looks a little bit weird. The collar with the armor on top of it, then it looks a little bit odd. It looks a little bit odd. But again, they did a fantastic job. Oh, and guess what? It doesn't have the silver on the helmet. I always hated that look. And then you have the White Ranger. So Saba's a thing. Saba is also in the game. This art is hysterical to me. I mean, it's Dan Mora, so fantastic to get him on for this. The White Ranger standing next to the original Megazord, which never happened and is quite literally impossible, as a matter of fact. Weird. Very weird. All right, so White Ranger gets his own morpher. White Ranger gets the emblem for the banner icon. The White Ranger is the only one with a glider so far, and it is the Tigerzord. Now, this is one of those that you ride on top of on the way in, which normally that doesn't work, but hey, it's the Tigerzord, and that's how you saw Tommy riding it in the show, riding on top of it. Obviously, not to scale, but I do think this is a really, really freaking cool job. Like, the detailing is really good on it. You can see the helmet of the battle mode in there. You know, the animation is just as stiff as the real thing. No, they did a fantastic job. Like, this looks like you're riding the toy into battle, which is amazing. Like, yeah, they did a fantastic job on this. You know, and we can check out the White Ranger too. I'm thrilled that they did both. I am thrilled that they did both. I wish the pose was a little bit better because, like, the way the model is stretched here, it makes the tiger emblem in the middle look like it's crooked. It's centered to the chest, but the chest is doing something weird because of the pose he's in. But considering I'm just going to be looking at that side of Tommy for the entire time I'm playing, I think that's fine. I don't think I'm going to notice it. Yeah, they did a lot. It's a really, really cool collab. There's other things going on too. For instance, the Blade Blasters are going to be a usable weapon in the game at some point. They're not in yet, but they will be. And then there's this. The Megazord suit itself is going to be one of those, like, 1 per match weapons where it's like Godzilla or Superman, where it's just like one person gets to cause devastation for a limited amount of time. We'll go ahead and view the Megazord. Why not? Now, the important thing to remember with this is probably the weakest part of the collab so far. the important thing to remember is that they had to design it to fit the hitbox of the game. So it actually has to have human proportions. It can't look like a giant suit. But that does make it weirdly shaped. Yeah, the thighs are pretty thick. The lower legs are pretty small. The midsection had to be stretched out. None of that bugs me too much. The only part that gets me, and it probably got you too, is the shoulders. Like how far they are dangling off the torso. That looks weird. They look like weirdly floaty. And then, yeah, the fact that the shoulders are sagging, which you could blame on the fact that, like, if they were raised up higher, you wouldn't be able to see when you're aiming down scope on a gun. But there's a current collab for Deadmau5 where they fix that. Instead of having his big ears there, they go invisible when you zoom in. You can see through them, which they could have done with his shoulders, but, you know, that would have been sensible. So this is something they don't ever fix cosmetics like this, but I really do hope they fix this at some point because this just looks ugly. The shoulders need to be raised. Other than that, like, again, attention to detail is spot on. It's designed after the suit's details rather than the toy because all the detail in the back is flat. Really, really nice other than, you know, those weird things that we have mentioned here. So the neat thing about this is an unlockable skin. It looks like, you know, it unlocks on September 16th. You'll be able to earn it then. So you got to wait a month or so. But the Megazord will be playable as a normal skin. And then we're kind of anticipating what these are going to be. So all of these are usually cosmetics that relate to the big unlockable one. So the power swords in the game, it's going to be his pickaxe. We know that. I'm hoping one of them is his back bling, the guns, because we haven't seen those yet. But the back guns would be nice. That would complete the look. Probably some kind of either a unique emote or a unique glider, which would be cool because we've only got the one glider so far. So, like, I need, like, the pterodactyl or something for the rest of the Rangers. There is an emote that we've seen that has not been unlocked yet, which is like a little mini tank mode Megazord that you can ride on the back of and, like, very slowly traverse the battlefield, which is a neat idea. It's a cute one. It's cute. And then, yeah, I'm not sure what the last one would be, but, like, it probably a wallpaper because there's a really nice wallpaper that hasn't been unlocked yet. More interesting is this. There is a second page that we have not seen anything from yet. It's not in the game files yet, so you can't data mine it or anything. But there's 6 more unlockables, so 5 more cosmetics. Hopefully things to enhance the Rangers a little bit more. But it's this one. It's the one at the end. This is usually a alternate style to the secret skin. With Godzilla, they had both standard and evolved versions. With Optimus Prime, it was normal and battle damaged. And I don't think anyone liked the fact that you had so many repaints for Optimus Prime and they went with battle damaged as the alternate skin. Very underwhelming. So I'm hoping they learned from that and they're going to do something more interesting. If they wanted to be a normal reskin, make it the black and gold Megazord. If they want to do something real interesting, you are just a torso, head, and thigh change away from making a Dragon Zord battle mode. And that's the thing here, is there's no Dragon Zord. He is completely unrepresented so far. So I'm hoping for that. I'm also hoping for another traversal emote that's Titanus, but, you know, I'm not expecting to get that. That might be wishful thinking. So we're kind of hotly anticipating what the other 5 here could be. There's a lot more Power Rangers that has not dropped in this season, and we are just sitting in eager anticipation. But honestly, yeah, like, aside from that weird thing with, aside from the weirdness of the Megazord's shape, you know, and there's a couple little details here and there, I'm really impressed. You know, when they did the Transformer one here, I'm going to show you real quick. When they did the Transformer one, they just kind of came up with their own stuff, you know, a very hyper detailed Bumblebee that doesn't look like he transforms. The Optimus Prime and the Optimus Primal were from Rise of the Beast, so they had to be accurate, and they look fine. This Megatron's a mess. This Megatron is an absolute mess. So things like this make me worried anytime they do like a really cool new collab. Because how much are they going to stylize them? And in this case, not much. Not much. They did a good job. I'm like genuinely impressed here. So whether you like Fortnite or not, whether you just wanted to see like how Fortnite treated the Power Rangers, I'm happy to say they did a really, really good job. A really good job. There's a lot to like here. I need a glider for the Rangers. I need some Dragonzord representation. And I need, I don't know, like they've actually done pretty good. I think that, you know, aside from maybe a Goldar would be nice at some point, but I'm not going to ask too much here. So that's my thoughts for the day. So like I said, I'm in a Power Ranger mood, probably because of this. So I'll be talking about some of the new toys tomorrow. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Hope this sated some curiosity. And I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.